Ugg slippers, David Gandy pyjama two-piece, White Company dressing gown. Don't at my fucking loungewear. Bit short in the arm though. Wagwan, excuse the morning. That's a sign of a good sleep, that. Very good sign. Time is 8:30. Just hydrating. I'm training fasted at the moment. If you are, or if any TMC members are watching, did an in-depth video about setting up your nutrition and carbohydrate backloading and amounts and supplementation when fasting. So if you want to head over to the TMC site and check that out, in the links below. But we've got chest, delts and triceps today at Muscleworks. Trained at Crayford yesterday, did some legs. So in the next half an hour, I'm going to get my shit together, have my pre-workout, and we shall go to Muscleworks. So, like, the premise of training fasted is obviously broken when I consume my intra, because the fast is being broken. It's just that I'm not having any breakfast. So usually I'd wake up, have my black coffee, and then walk about, do a few thousand steps, then have meal number one about 11:30. We're bypassing that, waking straight up, hydrating, and going to train, and then coming back for meal number two. Meal number one would be like my post-workout ghost whey protein, and then my intra. So we'll class that as meal one. As this is a full day of eating, macro breakdown for today is 550 carb, 60 fat, and 200 grams of protein. Listen to this chair. I need some chair lube. Hey, whilst this training session, this chest, delts and tricep session, I'm getting really strong at the moment, is playing, I'm going to talk about getting too fat in the off season, because it's a big topic of discussion at the moment. I've had many a back and forthery between certain individuals, not calling them out, not hating against them, but in my opinion, amongst many others in the game, people are pushing it too much, getting way too wrapped up in this bodybuilding rhetoric of, we've got to sacrifice body composition to gain tissue. I wholeheartedly agree with that 100, right? I'm so, like, understanding, and I completely agree with we do have to sacrifice body composition to gain not only strength, also hormonally, especially if we come back off the back of a contest prep, but also to gain, like, substantial amounts of tissue. And do I find that those that are very anal and only putting themselves in very small surpluses and gaining a tiny bit of tissue in gaining phases, where do we find it? We're just in the fucking middle. We don't go on one end where we go into like 100 calorie surplus and gain like 0.1 key a month, and we also don't go into a crazy 800 calorie surplus, gain a key a week, but the majority of that coming from fat mass. Like the fitness industry is brilliant, isn't it? Because we all are like sheep. Not me. My f***ing Don. But the majority of people are like sheep. Reps in reserve. Ooh. Then JP. Dorian Yates. Hit. Everyone follows whatever trend's going on at the moment. And at the moment, it's using that bodybuilding rhetoric of like, oh. And I've had back and forth with people on Instagram. I'm not like fucking calling them. Well, I am calling them out, to be honest. But I'm not like disrespecting them on purpose, like to gain anything from. I'm not. This isn't like some sort of sadistic call out. I just the line is becoming so fucking blurred with people that are pushing off seasons far too hard, gaining huge amounts of fat mass, and then just going, oh, I'm not fat, I'm bulking. Hold on. Let's look at like just a few negatives. Health is the biggest one. You start pushing fat mass up, health's going to take a knock. You look at your lipids, for example, especially those on anabolics. Fucking hell. Secondly, if you're gaining a shit ton of fat mass, chasing scale weight, whatever, when you come to contest prep and pull that off, you'll have a fucking have fun pulling that off. Because what you'll see is, you've gained all this mass, you're thinking, great, I'm 100 kg, I look big in a t-shirt. When you come down to pull it off for contest prep, oh shit, I've eaten into so much tissue. So there's my 2 pence on the situation. Let's start, and I think it especially goes more so to the younger individuals that are just starting out, because they're getting caught up in this current phase of, we've got to sacrifice body composition, let me just eat all the shit in the world and get. They're the ones that have got to be careful. So there you go. Moral of the story: don't get too fat. Peace and love. Enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, meal number 1, we've got 150 grams of egg whites on the go, 2 packs of the Quaker Oats So Simple, sultanas, raisins, cranberry and apple, 2 of the caramel Snacker Jacks, and for some more carbs we're having 2 of the fruity hot cross buns with some jam on there as well. Primetime television face like Dermot. Macro calorie intake number 2. We've had our carbs and our protein post-workout and intra-workout. We've got our 2 rice cakes, we've got 2 packs of oats. On those oats we've got 20 grams of the 90% Lindt dark chocolate. I haven't got any blueberries, usually I'll whack a lot of blueberries in there. 150 grams of egg whites and our 2 hot cross buns. At 12:30 we're joined by Jacob Hawley on drugs. Not Jacob Hawley on drugs, that's the name of his podcast. I don't know if anyone remembered me on Instagram tweeting about it. Jacob's podcast is fantastic. He sort of delves into the areas that people don't really discuss, like recreational drug usage, chemsex and LSD and those sort of drugs to help with anxiety and depression. I said if you ever do want an anabolic steroids, just drop me a message. And he said, oh, we're doing series 2. We're talking about anabolic, so he'll be coming around at half past 12 to talk a little bit about anabolic steroids, which should be very interesting. Right, meal number 2, that's going in like post workout. We've got 125 grams of pasta with 4 heck sausages, and we've got 100 grams of the frosty flakes inside the pasta. Some tomatoes and tomato and red wine, Lloyd Grossman sauce.
I'm not bothered about what men may say. When in 5 years none of our people have died, and there's never been a casket rolled through people's temples. When 24 times.
That's a bit of nostalgia for the OG TM cyclers. 7 years ago I was sitting there with an iPhone 5 and a book as a tripod. Now I'm sitting there with a Canon EOS R, a Joby 3K. Meal number 3, we've got basic bitch chicken and rice. 1 pack of rice, 200 grams of chicken and some tomatoes. Staying at mum's tonight, so I just went to Tesco's. Pretty easy meal to make. And if you didn't have access to like a frying pan and you had a microwave, rice in there, pack of prawns and tomatoes for your protein. But we've got 1 more meal in us. Gonna eat this, chill, and then have that about 9 o'clock. And that final meal is our peanut butter. Let's get the rest of our fats in. We've got 1 of the Warburton's bagels, and then just finishing the rest of the carbs off with another pack of the Oats So Simple, sultanas, raisins, cranberry and apple, and that will be our macros done for the day. Not every day AeroPress or cafetiere. Not bad. It's not bad, but it's not AeroPress. I'm going to end the video there. I don't know how long it is in length. I know it is 9 inches. I don't know how long the video will be. Usually 4 days of eating are quite short, so I do apologise. I'll pad it out with some discussion at the end of this video. Today's a rest day. I'm going to consume this black coffee, answer a few questions on the Instagram Q&A that I do. Follow me, TM Cycles. Then I'm going to go to David Lloyd, do 200 calories of cardio. Come back, have a breakfast that consists of a bagel, some eggs, maybe some orange juice because it's December. Why not? Then I'm going to finish all my work, client check-ins, emails, and head to Selfridges, Oxford Street, get a few bits for a few people, Oxford Street Adidas, where I get all my gym clothes from, by the way. Then I'm going to come back and play a bit of Xbox for an hour, because I find solace in that. I can detach myself and jump into the world of gaming. I know it sounds a bit sneaky, but it's helped me. Then I'm going to chill this evening and go to bed. And you'll join me very soon for another video. Thank you, good night, much love.